So last Friday, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy got a briefing from the FBI on California Congressman Eric Swalwell's ties to a Chinese spy operation. Here's how McCarthy reacted.
No one that was in that room could walk out and say Eric Swalwell should be on the Intel Committee. The one answer that I got out of that briefing was there is no way Eric Swalwell should continue to serve on the Intel Committee.
So McCarthy was pretty clear there. He also wants more House members to receive the same FBI briefing as he did. Now, Nancy Pelosi, she's remained mum on the briefing, but has recently said she has full confidence in Swalwell and has no plans to remove him from the Intelligence Committee. Joining us now with a reaction is Florida Congressman and member of the China Task Force, Michael Waltz. Thanks for joining us, Congressman. How do you feel about McCarthy's position? Would you be willing to have a briefing from the FBI? And do you think that Swalwell should be removed from the Intelligence Committee?
Well, I think, look, every member needs to receive that briefing. Every member needs to understand the extent and the sophistication of the Chinese influence operations. And one thing that we all need to understand as Americans, they're not targeting members of Congress that are going to be on, I don't know, the party planning committee or the shoeshine committee. They are targeting members that are on the Intelligence Committee. Dianne Feinstein in the Senate, who had a spy in her staff for over 20 years, was on the Senate Intelligence Committee. Members of the Armed Forces Committee, Space Committee, and others, where it's not so much. I'm not accusing Swalwell or anyone else of handing over classified information per se. It's this soft influence operation that the rise of China is okay, and we don't need a big, bad, robust military. And if only we are nice to everyone, if only we're nice to China, they'll be nice to us back. So it's okay to have 400,000 Chinese students in our research institutions and our universities. It's okay that professors in the most sensitive technologies from Harvard, Texas A&M, Embry-Riddle, and others that are studying robotics, but then also spending half the year in Beijing and pocketing hundreds of thousands of dollars. All that's okay. And one of the things, just very quickly, I want all Americans to understand, it's not just our politicians or professors, it's everywhere. We are awash with Chinese influence money in Wall Street, in sports. Look at the NBA and how they came down on one coach who said, I stand with Hong Kong. It's in Disney, it's everywhere. Because at the end of the day, President Xi, in his own words, says he wants to replace the American dream with the China dream. They are in a Cold War with us, and America needs to wake up, and the Democrats are asleep at the switch.
Congressman, I'm glad you've been preaching this. You've been a leader in this. I don't understand. I still don't get this through my skull, how it's not a bipartisan effort. Yeah. They don't want to play nice. This is not about appeasement. This is not about getting along. This is about domination. Until Americans get this through their head, we have a problem. Yeah. Do you think that, like, when you talk off the, kind of just off the House floor in a meeting with your Democratic colleagues, do the rank and file Democrat members get this, or is there truly a fundamental divide between how Republicans want to attack this and Democrats?
So there's a couple of points there. When I talk to the national security-minded Democrats, minus Swalwell, on intelligence or on armed services that are reading the intelligence, they get it, and they're very disturbed as well. They see that the Chinese Navy is bigger than the U.S. Navy now. They see they've launched more things into space in the last year than the rest of the world combined, how they're stealing our technology left, right, and center. But those aren't the Democrats the Chinese are looking to influence. They're looking to influence progressives, socialists. And if you think about the lineup of ideology with Chinese communists, it isn't that far off. So that's one piece. I have to constantly state I have no issue with the Chinese people or their long, beautiful culture. It's with the dictatorship of the Chinese Communist Party. And so, let's throw out the charges of racism or xenophobia. But where the Democrats could really come on board is the massive human rights abuses, is the massive environmental abuses around the world. I think it should be a litmus test for any nomination, if we, God help us, if we get to a Biden administration, for anybody they nominate in a national security position, that they're tough on China. And finally, Sean, it's politics at its worst, because President Trump took a tough stand on China. So therefore, the Democrats have to do the exact opposite, right? It's that ridiculous political swampiness. This is an American issue, and this is an issue for world freedom. This isn't President Trump took a tough stand, so therefore it can't be good. But that's how a lot of, unfortunately, Democrats are looking at it.
Thank you so much, Congressman. Hopefully Joe Biden will come in and take a handle on this. I have a lot of doubts.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe for our channel.